glad you're watching Newsfeed this afternoon. A very good afternoon to you. My name is Flora Limuki. We have a lot in line for you this afternoon, including President William Ruto now says the government will improve its services to Kenyans living abroad. The president said the newly created State Department for Diaspora Affairs will boost service delivery to Kenyans abroad, especially on consular matters. The head of state said the diaspora was a crucial player in Kenya's economy, noting that the government will focus on boosting services. Ruto was speaking in Washington, D.C. when he met Kenyans living in the United States.
And so I'll not say much of other aspects of the meeting. Today is not mine, and so
ODM, or everybody, we're all
I have undertaken that in the next 6 months, all government services will be digitized and will be available online. At the moment, we have only 300 government services available online. But in the next 6 months, we will have onboarded 5,000 government services.
The government has ordered for the reinstatement of 410 acres of Kenyatta University land, which had been hived off by the former regime for strategic interventions under the Ministry of Health. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua made the revelations during the university's 52nd graduation ceremony. In a statement, the second-in-command alleged that some powerful people in the former government had planned to grab the land and had resorted to intimidating university management, among them Vice-Chancellor Paul Wainaina, to facilitate the grabbing process. He lauded the institution's management for standing firm, despite the threats by the former regime insisting that the laws of impunity, state capture, conflict of interest, and land grabbers intimidated the council. Gachagua, who was accompanied by Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu, apologized to Wainaina following the humiliation he was subjected to, including unwarranted suspension following the land tussle.
The Ministry of Lands to cancel those allocations and reinstate the land to Kenyatta University. We have agreed that the land revert to Kenyatta University, save for 38 acres, that will be procedurally and in accordance with the law be given to the squatters of Kamai. The rest of the land remains for Kenyatta University and must be preserved as such for the university and for posterity.
For the university and the research sector, I challenge you to upscale your research endeavors as an anchor for economic development and work tirelessly towards providing solutions to problem-solved society and also using education as a tool for the socio-economic transformation of our country and the world.
The country is set to witness a tourism boom in the coastal region following the launch of the first direct flight from Mombasa to Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says the move by Kenya Airways would boost tourism in the region and safeguard millions of jobs in the coastal city. Tourism and Transport Cabinet Secretaries Penina Malonza and Kipchumba Murkomen urged the national carrier to be more innovative in order to beat increasing competition from other airlines.
This is a huge milestone for our aviation industry and associated sectors. The launch of this flight marks yet another initiative of sustaining millions of jobs in the tourism sector and the coast region. By connecting the Kenyan coast to Middle East, the travel time is effectively reduced, thereby making Kenya one of the most attractive destinations for the Middle East.
A strong Kenya Airways will guarantee a strong aviation sector and a healthy tourism sector. We are committed to exploring ways through which we can stabilize Kenya Airways operations and return it to profitability. As government, we are keen to rally all the stakeholders towards unlocking this immense potential and increase its contribution in the GDP to double digit. In this regard, we will be formulating a progressive aviation policy that will see the modernization of our operations, improvement of our infrastructure, and enhancement of connectivity safety and security through application of modern.
A human rights organization, Haki Africa, is now calling on the government to provide security for witnesses in the ongoing murder case of one Ramadan Chitso. The police officers are accused of murdering Ramadan and 2 other people, among them a fetus, and leaving many injured in an illegal firearms operation conducted on the night of 29th May 2020 in Kibundani area. So far, 5 witnesses have already given their testimonies in court, with 14 others expected to give their accounts from 28th February next year. Among the witnesses who have already given the evidence to the court is a 14-year-old boy.
Tunaomba hawa wanaotoa ushahidi au mashahidi waliotoa ushahidi na ambao watakuja kutoa ushahidi wapewe usalama wa kutosha, manake hao ndio jambo kubwa ama ndio kizingiti kikuu katika kutolewa ile hukumu ya hii kesi. Kwa hiyo tunaomba usalama kwa hawa watu ili tuweze kupata haki na familia iweze kupata haki na Kenya iwe nchi ambayo ni salama kwa mtu yoyote yule aweze kuishi.
Kwa hivyo kwetu ni kuomba kwamba process iende kwa haraka ili tuweze kupata haki, kwa sababu imechukua zaidi ya miaka 2. Tulikuwa tuna wasiwasi huenda ikawa wale ambao wamehusika katika mauaji haya wameinyamazisha kesi hii, lakini tumeona IPOA na tumeona ODPP wamepeana go ahead na kesi sasa imefika hapa Kwale Law Courts. Kwa hivyo sisi tunadai haki ya Ramadan Chitwa na mtoto wake Swalha na Rama na yule mtoto mdogo ambaye alikufa katika tumbo la mamake. Kwa hivyo yetu ni kuomba haki ipatikane ili tuweze kuendelea kama justice.
The government has set aside funds for the equipment modernization scheme so as to ensure there's minimal exposure risk to the officers in the battlefield. This is according to Interior CS Kidhuri Kindiki. The Cabinet Secretary was speaking during the 4th anniversary of the memorial service for the officers who lost their lives in the line of duty early Friday. He further announced that police officers and their counterparts in the prison department will benefit from specialized treatment after the launch of 3 hospitals in the country. The government is set to begin a groundbreaking ceremony launch at the Border Hospital in Kanyonyo, Kitui County. Other ultra-modern hospitals that will be launched in the course of time include the National Police Service Hospital along Bagadi Way and Kenya Prison Service Hospital in Ruiru, Kiambu County. Families and dependents of the fallen officers have asked the government to consider them in employment opportunities, as well as avoid deploying new recruits to high volatile areas.
They are defending our country and our country's interest in the field. And Principal Secretary State Department for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, TVET, Dr. Esther Moria now says that research holds the key to unlocking the country's industrial potential, while urging training institutions to embrace innovation as the world boosts skills development. Chichi Josephine with that story.
This event and to the graduates.
While announcing that the national government will deploy 3,000 newly hired instructors to TVETs across the country, the PS said that the state was crafting policies and guidelines that will help TVETs create endowment funds that will provide funds to ramp up their research facilities.
In the current year, the government commits to support the TVET sector by employing more TVET trainers to enhance quality training, actually up to about 3,000.
Dr. Moria noted that the future of TVET in the country was promising as the sector has embarked on various reforms, among them the establishment of the new competence-based education and training curriculum.
The TVET sector is set to equip the youth with the requisite skills and competencies for targeted economic growth and national development.
She urged students and instructors at TVETs to forge powerful collaborations with the business sector to translate research findings into industries to create wealth and jobs. To achieve this, she said, TVETs should deliberately march towards becoming the springboards of economic development in the country.
the government is committed to provide development grants to TVET institutions to expand infrastructure and upgrade training equipment to match industry standards. This will ensure that the graduates can turn out with to match industry requirements and the needs of global labor markets.
We are dedicated to discovering and promoting effective solutions in production through innovations with a view to enhancing job creation and promoting youth employability. We are also working closely with industry partners to ensure that our trainees access attachment and internship opportunities to prepare them adequately for the job market.
Artisan in
Chichi Josephine, TV 47.
Credit,
Well, 3 officers and a civilian who were found guilty in the murder of lawyer Willie Kimani, his client and driver, will now be sentenced to on 3rd February 2023, and not today as earlier scheduled. The officers Frederick Leliman, Stephen Cheburet and Sylvia Wanjiku, together with their informer Peter Ngugi, were found guilty of premeditated murder on 22nd July 2022 by Justice Jesse Lesit, who was then supposed to give a sentence on November 12. However, the sentencing was rescheduled to today since Justice Lesit was not in the country at the time. In mitigation through his lawyer, Cliff Ombeta, Leliman convicted officer Frederick Leliman as will be sentenced.
With 2 wives, and 8 children. 2 wives, 8 children. The wives are not working. The eldest son, who's 21, what does he do? He goes from place to place to see whether he can be able to get a job to sustain. This is why they depended on him. He was the sole bread. So coupled with the idea of taking care of the family and his siblings and himself and his health, my lady, please forgive me. But this forgiveness, let us match it also with the family. And I'm telling them, and I know they're here, you have to forgive him. If you need to heal, start by forgiving him. Then he will heal. The children are not going to school anymore. They are being chased because of him. If he's not out there anymore, they end up like him, not being able to go to school and starting to look for something to do.
Nakuru Governor Susan Kihika suffered a setback in a move to allow matatu operators back in the CBD after Nakuru High Court revoked the directive. Justice Hilary Chemitei directed matatus to go back to their old terminal outside the CBD pending the hearing and determination of a petition against the governor's directive. A section of traders had moved to court seeking to have the move overturned, saying the decision was made without a proper public participation. The petitioners say the move to return the matatus back to the CBD was a prejudicial to traders who were operating in the old terminus outside the town. Through lawyer Kemboi Sirma, they informed the court that the decision was made through a closed-door matatu owners meeting where the oral declaration was done, now seeking to have the decision stating that Article 10 of the Constitution
Koti imetoa oda ya kuwa matatu yote irudi mahali ilikuwa, ambayo oda tuko nazo tutapelekea Mheshimiwa Susan Kihika, na tunaamini kuwa atafuata vile oda ya mahakama itamwambia na arudishe stage yote irudi mahali ilikuwa.
Na gavana, tunataka kukuambia tu ya kwamba tunakupenda, na kwa ajili ya kwamba tunakupenda na hawa watu walikupigia kura na roho moja, pia hao uwajali wakati ambapo unapanga mambo ya kaunti ya Nakuru. Si kuita tu madereva, hata si madereva alita machairman tu wale wakubwa wa sako. Hawakuweza kuita madereva, kuita makanga, kuita mama mboga mwenye anauza pale chini, ambapo wale ni watu wa bottom up, wale ambao wa chini. Alienda kuita wale bamonyanya wenye machairman wale wakubwa, akaenda akawaita. Ungewaita hawa watu wa chini, waambia kwamba maana mimi natoa magari penye ziko na mimi nimeanza kupanga town, nyinyi pia nimewapanga pale na nyinyi mtakuwa mkiuzia pale na biashara zenu itakuwa mkifanyia pale.
County government are required to pay ECDE teachers according to the level of their education. Speaking at the annual meeting of the Machakos Branch ECDE Teachers Association, the national chairman of the Kenya Union of Pre-Primary Education Teachers, Lawrence Otunga, stated that the county government have failed to follow the Senate Law of 2021, which issues guidelines on the ECDE teachers' salaries. Helen Mumbua Musyoka, the chairperson of the Machakos ECDE Association, is now calling on Governor Vinyandeti to intervene in the highlighting the grievances of the ECDE teachers and that they have been going through a hard time at school to teach the children. Last week, the national chairman of the Union of the County Employees advised the ECDE teachers to join the Kunopet instead of other national unions of teachers because they are employees of the county.
Paid according to their qualifications, because there is an ECD scheme of service in place, and it should be implemented across the 47 counties. So whatever is happening in other counties like in Embu or Nairobi or Kisumu, even was in Gishu, in those counties teachers are being paid decently, but in Machakos they are being underpaid. In fact, they are being paid as if they are babysitters, yet they are teachers registered by the Teacher Service Commission. So as a union, we are here to negotiate with the employer to improve their terms, because she has given us good signs of confirming the teachers into permanent and pensionable terms and revising their salaries upwards.
Turkana First Lady Lilian Kamais has asked cancer patients to seek for medical help early to save lives. Speaking after she insisted cancer patients at the Lodwar Referral Hospital, Kamais attributed the high cases of cancer in Turkana County to alcohol, smoking, as well as poverty. According to Dr. Zuleka Edan, the county continues to record a high number of cancer cases, urging the government to construct special hospitals that will focus on cancer treatment.
Nilikuwa nimefika kwa hospitali ya Lodwar kuwatembelea walioathiriwa na ugonjwa wa kansa, kuwatia moyo pamoja na madaktari wanayomtibu, wanayomsaidia, kupatia mawaidha. Na kabisa tunajaribu kueneza jambo hili kwa watu wetu ambao wamekumbwa na hiyo ugonjwa, ili unapoizi mauchungu katika mwili wako, fika haraka kwa daktari ili uweze kusaidiwa kupata matibabu. Usiwe mtu wa kukalia kule nyumbani, kwa sababu hatutakuwa malaika wa kujua huyu ni nani yako mgonjwa ameathiriwa na ugonjwa huu.
We have 25 cancer patients and most of them are home-based care. And we are others who are suspected. We've not yet made a diagnosis because at our capacity we are unable to do diagnosis. We have roughly 50 of them we are suspecting. Let's put stigma aside. Anybody with cancer is not a death sentence. Cancer can be treated just like any other disease as long as it is detected early.
Kajiado County residents have devised new ways of performing female genital mutilation, with a section of parents now opting to conduct FGM to their young daughters when giving birth. Parents and doctors are said to collaborate in doing the exercise in Rombo, Kajiado South under secretive means. In a meeting that brought together stakeholders and police officers and those from the Children Protection Department, they have warned parents practicing the same that they will be dealt with accordingly. Rombo Chief Patrick Njama says the hospitals participating in the exercise risks closure.
Na mzazi anatoa kusema ya kwamba yeye anataka mtoto wake atairiwe. So saa zile ambayo mtoto anapojifungua, hapo daktari anachukua jukumu la kuweza kumkeketa. So hii ni kuonyo kwa sababu ya wazazi.
Lakini bado sehemu mafichoni tuseme Njukini ndani, Wangiro, Olgira ndani bado kuna hizo vitu bado havijaisha, na kushirikiana na mashirika mbalimbali na serikali yetu pia tunatamani sana kupita huko kama marafiki, kueleza kwa upole, kueleza kama marafiki na ndugu, tuweze kuona kama yule mtoto wetu ambaye ndio taifa la kesho anaweza kusimama imara, aseme mimi sitakeketwa.
Mtoto anaweza kutahiriwa hata akiwa mdogo. Kulikuwa na kesi ambayo ilikuwa Loitoktok court, ambayo mtoto wa miaka 6 kutoka Olchoro Loitoktok aliweza kufikishwa mahakamani, mzazi wake. Kuna mbinu mpya hiyo ya mtoto kutahiriwa akiwa mdogo. Wakati mama anapoenda kujifungua pia anatahiriwa ama kuvukishwa upande wa boda. Tumewaambia madaktari pia, tumekuwa na madaktari tukawaambia kwamba kitu kama hiyo ikitendeka kwa hiyo hospitali, wao watakuwa answerable, watachukuliwa hatua kali. Kwa ambao wanaona kama wanaweza peleka watoto wao Tanzania, kuna hao maboda patrol ambao tunashirikiana na wao.
And in sports, now picture this. Imagine investing in only 49 shillings and getting instant returns of 200 million shillings. Well, that is the life of Eli Kipruto Rotich, who was earlier today named Kenya's newest and youngest millionaire, as his Christmas came early after he won gaming firm Betika's mega jackpot. The 22-year-old student at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Science and Technology, JKUAT, received his check from Betika of 200 million shillings at the Serena Hotel in Nairobi after correctly predicting the outcome of 17 games. Eli, who was born in Nandi County, says winning the jackpot took several failed attempts. However, upon careful analysis of the lineup, games and teams, he managed to make the correct predictions, but engaging in the sport responsibly without falling into addiction. The young millionaire has major investment plans. However, he says he will prioritize procuring a parcel of land as well as building a house for his parents as a token of appreciation.
So nikakaa chini, kalamu yangu hapo hivi na kitabu natumiaga kuanalyze, kaanza kuandika 1 hadi 17. Halafu nikaenda nikaangalia matches zimewahi kucheza, nikaanalyze hivyo, nikaona timu inaweza piga ingine. Halafu